the high back chair.
The kids all settled in now?
Yes, I guess we are.
No chiming in from the peanut gallery. This is serious business.
Sure, Francis, we'd like to chime in.
Please don't refer to me by my civilian identity. Francis DiMenno is dead. I killed him because he is weak and feeble.
Are we running yet?
I am the wrong hero. I am a celebrity. And to my mind, a celebrity is somebody who is more popular than the masters they serve.
Hey, where is the master? Mark! Mark!
Hold on. He's incontinent. Mark, the Depends are upstairs in the pantry. No, that's me. Mark is an incontinent. Mark, are you coming?
Mark!
Oh, I gotta go upstairs to take a piss, so go ahead.
Mark, we got a bathroom down here now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, you should try it out.
I will.
We worked on it hard last week.
Really?
Yes, yes.
That's a nice drawing.
Yes, I do, Mark.
Using your valuable
I know, I'm using up all my valuable time.
video space here?
This always happens.
You couldn't buy footage like this.
That's right. It's better than a $10,000 vacation.
But Francis, you haven't switched on the sign behind you.
I don't need the sign, please.
Well, no, it's not a sign. It's just a.
No interference, please.
It's just.
No, I don't want the sign if I'd wanted it. All right, very good. Now it looks like the guy's catching my head.
Please on that.
You need the papers immediately, Mark?
Please on that.
Please on
Maybe
that.
you want to stop it and start again.
Nah, this always happens, really.
It's performance
Besides-
art, I guess you have to just let it happen.
Those guys are the biggest troublemakers, you know, and it's going to take me a couple of minutes to, like, get into the head, if you know what I mean. You're an experienced performer, you know. You were saying power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, vodka corrupts and absolute vodka corrupts absolutely. So keep that in mind. You know, I envy you because, well, I shouldn't say envy because that's a pejorative term here in the simpatico 90s, but you know, you're a sportscaster. Basically, you got the bleacher seats for Olympus. And you know, all this stuff about, oh, you know, the baseball games cost too much. Oh, no, how can we do this to the poor fans? Listen, fucker, you know, you'd pay $100 to watch Zeus bat that pill around, wouldn't you? Hey, it's a pop fly out the center field. There goes Mercury. Those little wings on his feet. He's got it. And you know, somebody who is like next to the gods of Olympus in my book is Johnny Most. God rest his soul. You know, I'll bet he's up there in heaven now, and he's doing color commentary on the burning of Rome and you know, nursery rhymes and so like Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Oh, this is terrible. Havlicek steals the ball. Oh, 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 this is terrible. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Oh, oh. The 7 hills of Rome are beginning to smolder. Here comes Nero. He fiddles and diddles down the court. The 7 hills of Rome are beginning to burn. Oh, Caesar's having seizures. Caesar's having seizures. Oh. Yep, Johnny Most. I'll tell you, he's the greatest, you know. You know, Johnny Most was the Paganini of phlegm. You know what I'm saying? He was this cat, you know. I mean, he needed the 3 packs of Luckies and the whiskey just to get in his, you know, just to get into it. You know, it was like, I mean, he could make anything sound exciting. You know, the alphabet: A B C D F H I J. Ah! He's just the greatest. I don't know. It just gets me to thinking, what a wonderful country this is. Back in the 60s, back in the 50s, I guess they used to march against the nuclear terror that hung over our heads like a bomb of Damocles. And then in the 60s, you know, the chronic malcontents and effete misfits, you know, they had the war to protest against. And then, you know, and in the late 70s, it was South Africa and divestment. And then you know, the greenhouse effect and the ozone hole. You know, these damn malcontents will always find something to complain about. You know what I'm saying? Up in heaven. Oh, well, you know, these clouds are ecologically unsound. Those harps are creating noise pollution. You know, they'll always find something. But here in the 90s, what are people worried about? Mayonnaise. You know, but
But mayonnaise contains EDTA.
well, see, there you go. That's exactly what I mean. And the thing is, though, it's hard to march against mayonnaise. You know, well, what's the slogan? No more eggs. You know, or down with tartar sauce. You know, start small, work your way up to mayonnaise.
But we like EDTA.
March against me?
You know, its fondness for the cations, particularly magnesium and calcium, prevent bacterial growth.
You science fascists make me sick. Look, if God had meant for us to live forever, he wouldn't have invented EDTAs now, would he?
Well, OJ's a little concerned about it.
OJ, there you go, OJ. Well, listen, you know, I was thinking about OJ. You know how he couldn't get that glove on? So obviously it wasn't his. Therefore, he's innocent. So we got to find some new patsies. Now, who do you associate with glove wearing? Michael Jackson and Mickey Mouse. They did it, you know? I'll hold her down and you cut her, Mickey. I don't know about that. I don't think the world's going to like that very much. So I don't know. Well, you know, I've been all over this great country. And I'll tell you something. It felt so good when they took the handcuffs off. You know, the federales, they're pretty strict. Well, you know, I was in Ohio. Now, Ohio, there's a real winter state. It's sort of like the New Jersey of the Midwest because when you think Ohio, what do you think? Money-hungry astronauts, obese presidents, and rivers that catch on fire. That's Ohio's big distinction, okay?
But what about the great glories of Akron and its development of the tire industry?
The rubber city? Yeah, the place stinks like fucking burning tires. That's great. Oh, how glorious, you know. Those smokestacks made more jobs for Americans. That kind of reasoning.
Ohio and the origins of our aviation industry.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, Ohio's chief distinction is the only state you can abbreviate as O. You know, O. The story of O. Ohio, that is. Beautiful Cleveland. You know, metropolitan Cincinnati. Robert Mapplethorpe. Go away. We're far too advanced here in Cincinnati to go for piss Christ, Andre Serrano. No, sir. Yeah, and oh.
Christ is one of the greatest artworks of our lifetime.
See, there you go. You know, defining deviancy upwards. You know, it's like in Guernica. I wipe my ass with that shit. You know, Michelangelo's The Bird and the Man. Oh, get the fuck out of here. I saw a Batman cartoon that was better. Yeah, well.
I like your eye makeup.
It's not eye makeup. It's glitter. Please. Eye makeup. Well, they test that on animals. You know, I only buy rat poison that's not tested on animals. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because I try to be ecologically sound. I even try to learn some Spanish because, you know, the semi-official language of the United States besides English is Spanish. I mean, which is only right since we stole 1/3 of Mexico from, you know, the Spanish. So, they're getting their own back now, you know. And God, you know, if we try to invade Quebec, then maybe French would be the second language. You'd have all these, like, carpet-bagging Frenchmen coming to Boston. You know, the Boston Garden, yes, we built that. We claim it for us, boo-boo. But I try to learn some Spanish, but about the only phrase I could assimilate besides Crisco and Dos Equis was empleados. Laven los manos, por favor. Try that on the border guard sometime. Empleados, can I see your papers? Empleados, laven los manos, por favor. It means, employees, please wash your hands. You know, he's like, senor, will you come into this room, please? That kind of thing. And, so, I don't know. I'm just no good when it comes to, like, the Mexican border, you know. I should just stay away from there. And the Midwest, you know this. Everybody in the Midwest talks like they're Huckleberry Hound's second cousin. You ever notice this? Excuse me, mister, how do you get to the courthouse? Oh, my darling. Well, yeah, see, you take a right where the church used to be, and you go past the cornfield, up the hill, down the hill, and if you don't got a flat tire by then, well, you just come back here and I'll direct you right. You know, you're going to put air in your tire? That'll be 25 cents. You're from out of town, aren't you? But, you know, the Midwesterners, I mean, for all their faults, like the fact that they like to eat, you know, steak fried chicken, or chicken fried steak. You ever had chicken fried steak?
Oh, that's a southern dish. How can you blame the Midwesterners?
Oh, I know. Everything comes from the South. You know, everything good about this society. Large sandwiches, arteriosclerosis, you know, it all comes from the South. Now, the thing I've noticed about people from the South, people from the Southlands, as they prefer to call themselves. It's not the Civil War, it's the recent unpleasantness, you know. It was only 115 years ago, but it's the recent you know, the thing about the South is, when, you know, Southerners, they're the most hospitable people in the world besides Arabs, because, you know, after all, who in the hell would want to visit that shithole? And as long as they're going to take the trouble to, you might as well be nice to them. But when you get on the bad side of Southerners, watch out, because, no, really, because, well, you know, you've seen Cool Hand Luke and all that, you know, and you saw Deliverance. Really, you all saw, I mean, this is all part of the American zeitgeist here. But, you know, when Southerners get mad at you, they talk as though they're taking a shit. You ever notice it? It's like, what you doing right here anyway, boy? When I get this thing out of here, I'm gonna get you. Really, they're just too much.
I have not observed this phenomenon.
Well, of course not. You're from Maryland. Maryland. Now, well, yeah, you have a lot of nice congressmen down there, don't you? Yeah.
Yes, we do.
And Fumi.
Yeah, Fumi.
Kwesi Mafumi?
See? There you go. You won't hear me say the word.
Philadelphia.
You know, you never hear this. You hear, I don't want to hear you say one word against Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was the best thing. Yeah. But you never hear him say, I don't want to hear you bad-mouthing Kwesi Mafumi. Why, you dirty low-down. You're the guy that's been poisoning all the wells, bad-mouthing Kwesi Mafumi. No, you never hear that.
No. I wonder why.
Is that my Diet Pepsi you're drinking?
Well, it was, but now it's in my belly. Now it has been assimilated into the wrong hero, and therefore every molecule of it is thereby, by that grace, heroic.
You know, it's not unlikely that at least the molecule that was once in Julius Caesar's body, given the fact that he was...
Yeah, I know, he's been dead for 2,000 years. Why doesn't he leave us alone already? His stupid, stinking molecules polluting our atmosphere. I don't want to breathe Caesar's atoms. Christ, the guy was bad enough when he was around, and he won't go away. I know, I'm familiar with this. My physics teacher told me that. He said, here, read the Foundation trilogy. By the way, did you know? He was actually my chemistry teacher, but hey. We gotta make artistic allowance. You ever notice when someone does something really shitty in the art world, they say, oh, I'm taking artistic allowance, you know. Like a movie that's totally implausible, well, it's artistic license. Yeah, artistic license to butcher grammar and logic. Sure, that's what it is. But you're getting me off you're getting me off the point here.
We'll try to be more conservative.
Oh, well, okay, yeah, so if you must make commentaries, and please, raise your hand first. William F. Buckley, this guy. Yes? William F. Buckley.
I thought you asked me to raise my hand.
No, you don't have to. But I mean, feel free. I mean, oh, shit. Aye. Yeah, now this was a comic book. It would be like, aye. You know, I used to write for comic books, and my typewriter keyboard could only type out arg, yeah, and I-E. You know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I-E. Yeah. Here's my favorite, though. Glug, ugh. That's the sound of somebody getting hit over the head while they're drowning.
Yeah.
Glug, ugh. Perfect, you know. The comic book version of an American tragedy. There you go. You got your sound effect right there.
I'm back from blog.
It's high concept, although I'm aware that they don't use that term in Hollywood anymore. So, are you going now already? I was going to talk about your favorite.
Sit down.
I was going to talk about your favorite performer.
I'm taking over. I'm taking your material every day.
I'll kill. How dare you touch the word Greeks?
Oh, the golden.
I'm not even using this material. This is like backup shit, man. I'm just
This
like...
is a heavy book I got here. This is.
No reading.
No,
Excuse me, young man. What is this? Basic sketchbook.
You know I'm a great Italian art critic.
All right.
Is it Florence? Oh, Florentine. You should be aware of that by now.
And when you wet your pants, is it the floods of Florence? I don't know, this motif, it's not very tasteful. I know. Let's talk about, let's talk music. Here's your favorite, Mark.
Mark, are you a Talmudic scholar?
I took an art history course at Michigan State. I don't dominate politics, as anyone knows, but I think, of course, my charity work is probably not as well known, but not only that, the arts, I dominate the arts. The Society of Arts and Crafts here in Boston, and the arts in New York,
That man is performing an illegal act.
Yes, occupy yourself in the preparatory ritual for your childish drugs and cease talking. Chubby Checker. You know how Chubby Checker got his name? I even actually have the name of the woman who gave
I
him
used to
his
play
name.
checkers.
But I can't. His name was
That's
really.
a great
oh,
game,
great.
believe
Chubby
me.
Checker. I used to play checkers. Mark, you were called before the Judgment Day. Judgment Day. Yeah, I saw that movie. It was pretty good. Yeah, Mark. You know, you can free associate off of anything. Mark, all is nothingness. Nothingness. That's exactly what I gave to the campaign.
And not nothing, everything. I can connect to every.
Well, I hit him up for $300, but he didn't win. Oh well. You know, Mark, if you had all that money, I'd take it.
Mark, you didn't give any money to Dan Quayle, did you?
Well, no, I did. I mean, if you can, what Bush for president is the same thing, right?
No.
But also.
Hey, listen, this isn't Plato's Dialogues here. Front and center, direct your eyes this way, please. I'll tell you what. After this, I'll shut up, okay? I won't say a word. Not peep one out of me, but just will you let me finish? You know, it's like, this is my microphone, I paid for it.
Right.
You know,
That's one of the great lines.
yeah, well, yeah, but you know, you can help me generate new material every now and then by permission. When I point to you like that, be ready.
That's like a band.
Carl, take those seats with me.
Oh no, I could have planted those.
Oh,
I could have had
Mark,
a
great.
bumper
I
crop
tried to
there
hand them to you and you couldn't take them.
I could have had a bumper crop.
There's the methane.
I tried to hand them to you and you didn't take them.
So, you know how Chubby Checker got his name? His real
How
name,
did Chubby Checker get his name?
well, his real name was Ernest Evans, and he was a chicken plucker. Not, as some have called him something else, which is more lascivious. But no, he was a chicken plucker, and they needed him to fill in at the last minute for some other no-show, no-talent bum on American Grandstand. So they said, I know, we'll get this guy. But he was on Cameo Parkway, the prestigious Cameo Parkway label out of Philadelphia. Surely,
Right, Philadelphia.
D.D. Sharp, mashed potatoes, and
Now you're talking.
I Who Have Nothing, you know, all those
Philadelphia was.
all those
Well,
wonderful.
that was where Dick Clark came from, isn't that true? For
See,
many-
there you go.
So many years.
Synchronicity, it all ties in. Everything is everything, man. I mean, in fact, you know, the center of the known universe is
Comes from
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. It came from Philadelphia. That is, American Bandstand came from Philadelphia.
City of brotherly love.
Dick Clark. That is the whole point.
So how did he get his name?
Oh yeah, this is the long-awaited, the incredible suspense
Somebody
here.
had to ask.
Yeah, somebody. Well,
Get to the point, hero.
well, I'm trying to. I'm sweating here. I'm like, I'm gonna lose 5 pounds up here. These lights. Well, you could have been in the bunker, like I said. You know. Well, okay.
You'd be sweating more in there.
The wife of the executive at Cameo Parkway Records looked at the success of Fats Domino and said, what do we call our new singing star?
Oh, wow.
We'll call him Chubby Checker. But, you know, if she'd thought for a moment, arteriosclerotic backgammon, or obese chest, or...
So this is
What about
Yeah.
tubby chest?
There was a tubby
Yeah, I
chest.
know, I
This
had
is
a
what
record.
I've
Tubby
you
chest.
see, I've learned this in the interim since,
Right.
you know, let's see.
Everybody, that's the logical next question.
Oh yeah, let's see. Arteriosclerotic backgammon, obese chest, and what would the other one be?
Oh, it's tubby chest.
Oleaginous bingo. That's it. And now presenting the new singing star. Oh, that would be one. You know, another thing that really bugs the hell out of me is that song, "Every Little Breeze Seems to Whisper Louise." You know, take that literally. Every little breeze seems to whisper, make it stop. And another thing is, and this is all American stuff because, you know, this is the theme here, America, celebrityhood in America, but also, you know, I'll throw some aphorisms by your way. Science fiction is,
What is an aphorism?
an aphorism is a short, pithy, cogent
Pithy,
saying.
that's the key.
Pithy,
The
that's right.
dictionary says
It ain't worth pissing if it ain't got pith. You know, that's an aphorism right there.
That's right.
You know, the British, they were fond of aphorisms. That's why they wore pith helmets. And
Right.
but more about the British later.
Oh yeah, well,
Well, okay. Science fiction is sports for people who throw like girls. Politics is sports for people who are too fat to run. And Masturbation is the poor man's Nintendo. There. That should fulfill your aphorism quote for a while.
effective.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that little chime. As if we didn't know. Oh, man, what's that? Kinsey report? Never heard of it. Oh, is that feller who was talking about his livestock there? Well, yeah. Oh, bat. Oh, yeah. Well, we're God-fearing folk around here. That the song.
I'm proud to be an open
Yeah, there you go.
Francis, are we on page 2 yet?
Well, we're not going by strictly linear logic.
Paul Harvey.
You're going to have to dispense with your notions of linearity and logic and cohesion.
How about a little Paul Harvey?
I don't know about Paul Harvey.
Oh, you know Paul Harvey.
Well, what's he
Page
selling?
2, you know him.
Page 2.
He does all of
He
No.
does the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Oh.
The rest of the story.
It was the best of years. It was the worst of years. I'm getting 20 cents a word for writing this, so I'll go on and on.
Page 2, and he doesn't add.
Oh no, I'm afraid I'm
No,
not
no,
so.
Paul Harvey.
I'm not really hooked in.
Your ads, that's the thing.
I'm not hooked into the grid. What can I say? I'm out of the loop.
But you're
Can't
a
you do it?
celebrity.
That's
Can't you
true.
do endorsements every now and then.
You know,
That's your
every
favorite
celebrity
product.
knows every other celebrity, and they don't have to actually have had to have met. But if they bump into each other in the airport, hi, Cher. Oh, it's Michael Jackson. It's like, Cher, is it true that you had your rib removed so you can shake hands with your intestines when you put your arms like this?
Yeah.
Michael, is it true that you had half your nose removed? Like,
Francis, you want to put in a plug for MJR products?
MJR, what's that, Midger?
The biscuit.
Oh, NJR, oh. Yeah, that's,
Michael Jackson.
they came up with you need a biscuit. You know what I say to them? You need a life, pal. Biscuits aren't the be-all and end-all. You know what I'm saying? Why don't they make fig Newtons out of really good stuff like Valium or something? But for that matter, why don't they make lighter than air balloons out of something that would really be useful, like lithium? Just a thought.
What about cream puffs and heroin?
Oh, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. You see, this is just a preliminary to the main bout, okay? I mean, I didn't bring you down here to bore you stiff without a reason, okay? But before I get into that, I'd like to mention the song "Pop Goes the Weasel," which has been haunting me. See, my girlfriend has these 2 nephews who are like 8 months old, and they're twins, and they have one of those little Fisher-Price toys, and you press it, and it plays a song. And one of the songs it plays is "Pop Goes the Weasel." What an example for our nation's impressionable youth. Have you ever read the lyrics to this? Round and round the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. Now talk about your implausible scenarios. Arnold Schwarzenegger, move over. A monkey chasing a weasel. I see that all the time, you know? It's like the Reverend Gary Davis. The bees made honey and the lion's head. Hey, I was walking down Mass Ave. I saw just that very same thing, you know? It's like, I got a yellow gal. I can't keep. Yeah, I got that problem too, lead belly. No, it's like a round and round the mulberry bush. The monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. This is my vision of hell, you know? I'm going to wake up one
The
day.
monkey kills the weasel?
The monkey chased the weasel.
And he pops him?
No. The weasels go pop when you annoy them. You know, I guess it'd be something like. So like I'm going to do.
Are you sure the monkey wasn't popping the weasel?
No.
We should change the name of the song to Goes the Weasel.
Yeah, goes the weasel. Goes the weasel. In Israel, you know. Marhaba goes the weasel in Saudi Arabia. Bonjour goes the weasel in Vichy, France. Yeah. Achtung goes the weasel in East Germany.
Elie Wiesel.
L.A. Wiesel. Oh. Hey, what about that Italian guy? Primo Levi.
I think the monkey finally caught him and popped him.
Well, but you know, this is really my vision of hell. A place where you have to finish all the food on your plate that you didn't eat when you were alive. You have to listen to all the Rush Limbaugh monologues that you never finished listening to when you were alive. You have to read all the junk mail that you never finished reading when you were alive. And you have to watch for all eternity a monkey chasing a weasel around the mulberry bush. Well, America's a great land.
That topic can go on to the next one on your list.
No, actually, this is all in one big. I'll tell a nice little joke, then, and this will make you laugh, and then I can get into the the one-piece thing, right? One day a man got drunk, and when he woke up the next day, all he could remember was a wonderful golden toilet. And he became obsessed by this golden toilet, and this is sort of like a parable of celebrityhood here.
We just installed a toilet here, not 15 feet from you.
Again, it's like, what is this, stream of, what is this, Ulysses? What is the significance of the golden toilet? Why are there no golden toilets in Ireland? Because the plumbing ordinances do not permit them, you know.
Hey, this toilet here, I was very surprised to see when I installed it that it in fact had been bored 3 months to the day before and it was a date stamped into the vitreous china.
What are you, cosmic twins or something? Every time it gurgles, do you feel like sympathy pains? Well, anyway, so this.
No, I otherwise was going to replace it. I was going to replace it, but it was born 3 months to the day from when I was, so I figured I had to repair it. So I had to buy all these repair kits.
It must be. Apparently so. I get nothing but sass from you people, you know.
Well, use the term lightly.
Yes, I don't. Ross Perot didn't use it lightly. Neither do I. So anyway, this fellow was looking all around for the golden toilet. He went from one. I tried this joke out on somebody else today, and he laughed. Right. So.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, you know that guy that had the Twinkie defense when he killed Harvey Milk. Milk and Twinkies.
Right.
You know, Smick. Hey.
Yes, Dan something.
Dan, yeah, right. Well, anyway, so this guy goes from house to house.
Just after he was released at his mother's home in San Francisco.
Thank you for that little sidebar.
Yeah.
When I decide to write for Wired magazine, you can do all my sidebars.
No, it's
See, and that's exactly what my boss said at work. That's not funny. You guys are sick. And we were saying, oh, it's just guy talk. You know, like, well, you can put the crematory in here. What are you guys talking about? It's just guy talk, you know. Like the 700-pound motor should go here. What do you mean? You know, this is a library. Oh, no, it's just guy talk, you know. So anyway, he went from house to house looking for the golden toilet. Finally, the last house on the last street, he knocked on the door and said, "Excuse me, do you have a golden toilet?" And the guy at the door said, "Hey, Mabel, I found the guy that shit in your tuba." You heard that one before.
No, I've never heard that.
Well, you see, I've got to go with what I know. So, anyway, I'd like to address a controversial topic, and that is the history of ethnic prejudice in the United States.
Oh boy.
Yeah, ooh, that's a hot one. That's a hot potato. Ooh, look out. You're going to have the JDL breathing down your neck before you can say boo. Oh, and you know, Casper. Oh, don't even get me started. You know, no, don't, hey, you know what it is? It's just basically it's Magical Boo. It's the story of Magical Boo. Anyway, stop staring at my cheat sheet. That's not permitted.
I just want to see how far we are advanced.
Well, if you sit down and shut up, it'll take 12 minutes, okay? That's what it's time for. That's how long it'll take. Sit down.
Francis, as I take it, you have 3 pages in 6 columns. And we aren't even halfway down the first column yet.
Well, you got a page boy haircut, and you're a 3rd column, so go sit down, for Christ's sake.
Not even through the preface.
Yeah, this is the prefatory
This is
remarks.
just
Oh, I'll just.
thanking the staff.
Well, yeah, that's right.
The typist.
You know, you know, I'm gonna call myself. I'm gonna call myself President Stockboy, or Mr. Client Esquire, or Dr. Patient.
What about client
President
ill-tipped?
Stockboy, that sounds good.
Yeah, or Iceberg Sun. Or
Remember I seeing that Iceberg Slim?
yeah, Iceberg. See?
Shooting speedball, shooting.
That's right. How'd you get the name Iceberg?
Someone's at the door.
All right,
Speedball,
you get it.
football.
What do you call him?
Well, anyway,
And a bullet passed right past his ear.
that's right. And he didn't move.
Man, you didn't even move. You're an iceberg.
I'm gonna call you Iceberg. Like ding. So, all right, cool. Well, anyway, the history of ethnic prejudice in America. It all starts with 1491. 1491, the last good year for the American Indian. Because then the 1500s came along, and boy, if you think that's funny, wait till I get to the punchline. Hey, you guys back. Hey, you're just in time. All right.
Hey,
Look who's
Because-
joined our
look who's here. Look who's here. Unbelievable.
Steve, you know Leslie here?
Bye, Steve.
Make the introductions all around. It's dead air, but I don't mind. It's okay. Now, they've seen far worse.
What is that? The Colonel Carl Smith from,
In fact, this is like a cabinet meeting, really.
you know Mark.
You got your president, your vice president, the speaker, the secretary of defense, and the colonel. Well, of
The
course.
Colonel.
You know, what isn't Colonel Sanders? One of those people open a popcorn store. They can call it the Colonel's Kernels, you know. Well, just a thought. They could be chicken flavored, you know, like chicken in a biscuit. You know, these are the nightmare things that I think about. Like being in hell and hearing the song, chicken in a biscuit, new kind of cracker, chicken in a biscuit, new lip snugger, chicken in a biscuit, crispy and good, chicken in a biscuit, everybody should. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Crisp and good, everybody should. What the hell? What, some leap of logic here that I'm unaware of?
Yeah, I like to see that sentence diagram.
Yeah, exactly. Or corn, Kellogg's cornflakes in the morning. If I had my way, I'd start every day with Kellogg's cornflakes. What's stopping you, asshole? Fucking cornflakes, they're selling for 99 cents at the goddamn supermarket. If I had my way. But the cruel chains of convention keep me shackled. I cannot. No, it's got to be crackling oat bran or nothing, you know?
What about clusters?
What?
Clusters.
Oh, yes, oat clusters. You know what the most evil thing in the world is Snuggles, the fabric softener bear. Every time I see that thing, I see fangs, you know? Get that thing away from the baby! My God! Now, what's gonna happen when Diablo, the fabric softener bear's mother shows up? You know? It's like the size of a washer dryer. It's like, roar. Man, it's not gonna be a picnic with Bozo. I'll say that much.
No starch.
No starch, please. The whole idea of fabric softeners, anyway. Christ, why don't you just throw salt on the goddamn shit? You know? Rot it away in half the time with less expenses. Anyway, yes, I'm against all that good stuff. Air conditioning, popsicles, and Cadillac Eldorados. I'm against it. I'm against it all.
But the Eldorado.
But the Eldorado was designed by Raymond Loewy. How can you say that? It's sacrilege. I know exactly what you're going to say before you even think it, damn it.
No, Loewy wouldn't.
Loewy wouldn't
associate himself with a Cadillac.
Of course not, no. His peak was 1953, the Chevrolet. Okay.
You know he had fine expression in my Studebaker.
Yes, I know. The Dickmobile.
No, that.
Anyway, yes. That's the Jaguar. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult your Studebaker. To the Dickmobile, Robin. You know, just once I'd like to see that, you know. But no. Batman, you're drunk. You've been drinking too much blood. And that last guy was drunk. So, 1491. The last good year for the American Indian.
Oh, this was your treatise on prejudice.
Yes, my treatise. Please, it's not a mere comic jest, but it's a treatise. A commentary, if you will. So then the Spanish came, and you know, the Spanish were known as rapacious, cruel tyrants by their friends. And
They had their downside, too.
yeah, it's true. And you know, the thing about the Spanish is they all had wicked hangovers from drinking too much sangria the night before. So they were alcoholics, and they weren't responsible for what they did to the Indians. Now, when the Spanish first came to this country, the Indians referred to them as siesta-taking, sombrero-wearing, red wine-drinking hotheads with wicked tempers from sangria hangovers. And you know, that's the thing. I mean, the Spanish, it's just the history of rapacious cruelty. But if the Pope had been a righteous daddy, you know, he would have said, I want you fellas to get on a 12-step program. Take those helmets off. Sell them to the poor, you know.
Melt
But
them down.
that wouldn't work. Well, and then, of course, in the 1600s, the British came to North America. And, you know, say what you will about the British, but the British are indomitable. The British will fight. They will always fight to the last American. And
The last American.
yes, and you know, they will always be in England as long as there's a Fort Knox. And in the words of the immortal Winston Churchill, I have nothing to offer but blood, sweat, and tears. And needless to say, I won't be opening up a fancy restaurant anytime soon. But, you know, the British, the Indians used to think of the British as Basically, they were snobbish, inbred, bulldog-worshipping, Henry VIII-worshipping drunks with horsey teeth who wanted to do nothing more than sit around eating crumpets, drinking tea, playing cricket, carrying umbrellas, wearing pith helmets, and quoting from Kipling's Take Up the White Man's Burden. And you know, but the thing with the British, they're Anglicans. They're Anglicans. The only religion that's stupider than Catholicism is Anglicanism. I mean, really, because compare and contrast the God of the Catholics, Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. The God of the Anglicans, Henry VIII. You know, a bearded glutton who beheaded 6 of his 8 wives. And who do you want to see at the pearly gates come Judgment Day? You know, come in, welcome, enter, my friend, O righteous one. Like, bend over, sailor, yo ho ho. I'm feeling rabbit. Yeah, so there's that, and then of course in the 16th.
Francis, I figured out your cataloging system.
Oh, beautiful. Well, you're a born librarian.
But Francis is only about 4 nationalities down on his main index here.
Yeah, and the more you interrupt, the longer we got to spend in this damp, sweaty, moldy, cat piss-smelling, unendurable hell of a basement.
Let me tell you.
We're being poisoned by radon, even as you go persistently yakety-yakking along without so much as stopping to take a breath, like some voracious pig with a gleam in his eye after having spotted an over-brimming sty. So sit down, please. Well, anyway, in the 1620s, the Dutch came, and of course, you know, the Dutch have given us many things like Dutch ovens and Dutch courage and Dutch uncles, and they were also known as very shrewd bargainers. For example, they traded $24 worth of trinkets to the Indians for Manhattan Island. Now, you know, one question immediately leaps to mind. What was in those trinkets? You know, like, here, my red brother, suck the beads. Good. Trade papoose. Trade teepee. Trade islands. More beads. You know, so, but, you know, the people used to think of the Dutch, you know, as tulip-sniffing, butter-eating, Heineken-gulping, clog-wearing fatsos whose eyes were perpetually crossed from staring at windmills, whose fingers were always shriveled up from sticking them in dikes, and who'd like to do nothing more than ice skate all day long and smoke hash and low dives and act goofy. So much for the Dutch. Well, in the 1700s, the French came to this country, and, you know, the Indians preferred the French because, you know, they were much fairer in their bartering practices. It's like, 1 fur and I don't cut your head off, the English. 1 fur and a match. The French, you know, they're good guys. A can of Habitant corn chowder, you know. So, but, you know, the Indians used to refer to the French as wine-slurping, brie-stinking, snail-eating, tongue-kissing, syphilis-infested, pornography-reading, adulterous writers of incomprehensible philosophy. Well, then, of course, in the 1740s came the Scotch. Now, here's a quick lesson. So a lot of people have trouble distinguishing between the Scotch and the Irish. I'm Scottish! I'm Irish! I'm Scottish! I'm Irish! So, there's the big distinction right there, okay? Yes, the dour, thrifty Scotch. You know, the Scotch, but they were troublemakers. You know, they were responsible for the Whiskey Rebellion in 1793 in western Pennsylvania. Yes, they were. It was the Scotch-Irish who settled in great profusion in western Pennsylvania.
Scotch or were they Irish?
They were Scotch-Irish, damn it. They were, I am Scottish and Irish. You know, it was like they're caught between 2 worlds that they never made. But, you know, the thing about the Whiskey Rebellion, if I'm ever involved in a rebellion, I want it to be a whiskey rebellion. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the political platform. Here's the party slogan. Come home, America. Well, you know, their neighbors used to refer to the Scotch as dress-wearing, penny-pinching, oatmeal-eating, haggis-gulping, bagpipe-tooting skinflints.
Hey,
but
can you
you
explain
gotta,
haggis to us?
Oh, it's just this sheep's intestine. Now go sit down. Pipe down, little man. I'm gonna have to dust your britches, little feller, if you don't stop piping in every now and then. Here, go ahead. Use your childish drugs and leave me be in peace, please. Huh. Boy, I'll tell you. How many times do I gotta tell you? So, so you're making me lose the continuity, you're destroying the timing, and there's no greater sin in this or any other world than destroying...
We're hearing the whole story of...
You're hearing the whole story of ethnic prejudice, free of charge, except for the $5 donation I'm going to hit you up for at the end.
But we still have yet the Germans, the Scandinavians.
Yeah, okay. Give us the whole rundown of what we have yet to hear before I even have a chance to say it, okay? You know, getting to the Irish, this is the best part, because in the 1840s, the Irish came, they were fleeing the potato famine, which is an excellent excuse for not going to work. It was like, sorry, I can't come in. Last week, bubonic plague.
We have a new potato famine in the United States this year.
Oh, cool, man. Great. Another interesting sidebar. Marvelous. Now, after the show, you can tell us all about it. I'll give you your 5 minutes in the incredibly hot spotlights with the unendurable sweat trickling into your eyes, blinding you! I am a blind man, God! But anyway, so in the 1840s, the Irish came, and, the Irish were probably the first really despised minority in the United States because people would look at them and they'd say, who is this bog-trotting, clay-pipe-smoking, brick-throwing, bomb-hurling, shillelagh-wielding, shamrock-worshipping, blarney-kissing, brogue-talking, fiddle-playing, mandolin-strumming, penny-whistle-tuning, rot-gut-gulping, ale-slurping, ether-sniffing, leprechaun-hallucinating, evil-tempered, grotesquely sentimental dipsomaniac who writes incomprehensible poetry all the livelong day? Of course, that's nothing compared to what the Irish were saying about the other ethnic minorities at the time. Now, here's one that's dear to your heart. In the 1840s, the Germans also came to this country. Now, many people looked at the Germans, and they said, well, who is this beer-bloated, sausage-eating, sauerkraut slurping, chocolate-manufacturing? What are they good for anyway? What have the Germans ever given to American society? Kindergarten, Rathskellers, and give me a week, and I might think of something else. So in the 1870s, we had the Scandinavians. And, the Scandinavians, people would look at them and say, who are these miserable, big-boned ex-Vikings with crooked teeth who sit in their squalid hovels eating raw, salted fish, reading Hamlet in the original Danish by the light of whale-fat lamps, feeling sorry for themselves?
He broke his boy.
Of course, nowadays, when you think of Scandinavians,
That's the whole, as I told you that, he broke his voice.
of course, the modern stereotype of the Scandinavian is Sven Svensson in the Archie comics, and whatever his name is. Well,
Mr. Spencer.
We've been talking about basically Europeans, Northern Europeans so far, but in the 1890s, the whole fabric of the United States changed with the sudden influx of Southern and Eastern Europeans. And most notable of these were, of course, the Italians. Now, people had a great deal of antipathy towards the Italians, even though the Mafia didn't really come to this country until about 1895, where it embarked in New Orleans from Sicily. Just a historical sidebar here, just to preempt the one that was inevitably forthcoming from this quarter. Anyway, people would look at the Italians and say, who is this crooked, cigar-smoking, olive oil-slurping, dagger-wielding, mafia-fearing, pope-worshipping, spaghetti-eating, greasy, garlicky, sex-crazed, emotional fascist whose one ambition in life is to bark incomprehensible orders at his betters? But the thing is, Italians were tolerated because they were strong family men. I'm not going to say which family. And now this word for Cosa Nostra condoms, because it's our thing. No, they were known as strong family men because,
Do what you want to do.
We finally got
That's right.
I can't tell you.
They were strong family men because Italians, to a man, resent their fathers, adore their mothers, drive their sons pazzo, and they turn their daughters into gum-chewing, ratchet-jawed sluts with big hair. So that's how you know.
What about their sisters?
Wait, what about my sister?
You recall.
Yeah, I only do it with sisters, man, because I'm Catholic. Anyway, then in the 1890s, there came as well of the Southern Europeans. See you later. Now that we got past the Scandinavians, he's not interested.
You never go out with an Italian girl unless you're tougher than her brother.
See, there you go. Or for that matter, unless you have a bigger mustache. Well, in the 1890s, ooh, that's a low blow. Yeah, what do you give an Italian girl for her wedding shower? Well, a bottle of aftershave, of course. Anyway, in the 1890s, there came the somewhat similar Greeks. And people would look at them and say, oh, who is this Bazooki playing ouzo, drinking baklava, eating olive munching, stuffed grape leaves, slurping, pistachio crunching, sailor cap wearing, black haired, bushy eyebrow, tin horn chiseler.
Don't forget goat food.
Oh, that's right, goat cheese eating, yes. What is that thumping noise? Is someone having a tantrum? Somebody's getting tired. Yeah, I invented a tranquilizer for children called Somebody's Getting Tired. I'm going to market it before too long.
Yeah, I think you should.
Well, anyway, they'd say about the Greeks, they'd go, oh, who is this guy? He smells like sardines. Oh, that's his cologne. And let's see, also in the 1890s, just to wrap this up, there were the Hungarians, the goulash-eating, paprika-reeking, suicidal whiners, and the Poles, the duck's blood-drinking, vodka-swilling, clumsy, thick-headed, stubborn, oafish Poles. That's right, polka. You know, and the thing is, if polka ever hits it big in this country, I've got it made because, you know, I've got a whole album worth of polka tunes. The Polka in the Eye of the Sharp Stick polka. The Too Fat polka. I know when a dance goes, she's over me, hey! And, you know, hundreds of polkas. It's polka, man. Yeah, Polka in the Eye of the Sharp Stick polka.
That's an Italian one.
Yeah, there you go. And so, believe it or not, in the 1900s came perhaps the last ethnic minority before the next two successive waves of ethnic immigration in the 1920s and 1960s, respectively. And that was the Turks. And even, you know, at the time, the Turks were America's most despised minority. And even today, when people think of Turks,
The most perverted people.
well, when they think Turks, they think Kurd killing, heroin smoking, fez wearing, pastry gobbling, and pathologically cruel Turks.
Yeah, well,
And-
if you get a mix of a woman who wants to please a man,
Hey, wait a minute! This is my show, Bunky!
well,
All
open
right.
it up.
Well, yeah, okay.
Open it up.
Okay, you know what? It's like the wheel has come full circle. Shakespeare, King Lear, Act 4, Scene 3. Actually, it's Act 5, Scene 3. But who's counting, right? You guys wouldn't know Shakespeare from Adam. You wouldn't know Shakespeare from Adam 12. Adam 12, Adam 12. Methinks I doth see a malefactor lurking in the dark. You know, one Adam 12. So, this is great. You always got to stick your nose in, don't you?
You are great, Francis.
You don't have to put on the red light. Hey, look, I'm from India. I'm a virgin. Hey, it's the Barnum Valley Circus featuring the robot unicorn. Let's see.
I'm having a fucking heart attack here.
Yeah, oh, wait, yeah, are you mad? What? See, the alien meets Terminator. Whoa! What else can I do with this? You were getting sleepy. How much money do you have?
Yeah, I feel too good to be sleepy.
Yeah, you're getting sleepy. Do you have any money? That's marketing. How much money do you have in your pocket? That's market research. So, anyway, getting to the end, the pathologically cruel Turk sort of reminds me of where we started with, the Spanish. And, you know, there's one ethnic minority which I didn't mention. And that's because, strictly speaking, they weren't immigrants to this country. They were brought here by force. And I am, of course, speaking of African Americans who preceded the Mayflower in 1619, Lerone Bennett Jr. And before the Mayflower. And yeah, you never read Lerone Bennett Jr.'s Before the Mayflower?
No.
That'd be like me not reading The Godfather. We're talking. So anyway, you know, the thing is, in 1865, Lincoln and the Freedmen's Bureau, at the end of the Civil War, promised blacks 40 acres and a mule. But General Grant got drunk and forgot all about it. And you know, but you know, what if they had gotten the 40 acres and a mule back in 1865? Here's the scenario we'd be seeing nowadays. Yo, brother, can I borrow your television station? No, my brother, you must buy your own. You know? And you know, the 1960s were a time of great introspection, not only in the field of civil rights, but in the field of Indian rights. Because you know, in the 1860s, people started thinking, why, we've broken every treaty we've ever made with these proud people. Time was they were the masters. Well, maybe not all people were thinking this. Because, you know, time was when
Look at the costume again, and I started to get confused.
the Indians were the master of all they surveyed. The star is detachable. Time was that the Indians were the master of all they surveyed. But you know, nowadays, and people were saying, you know, well, now look at them. You know, Indians are poor. They sleep on old army blankets. Indians got disease from old army blankets. Their filthy teepees smell like gopher shit and old army blankets. Hey, wait a minute. They're not even from here. They all came across on the Bering Strait thousands of years ago. They're not even Americans! Give back those army blankets! You thieving redskins, is what people would say in the 1960s. Well, I'd like to thank you for paying heed to this presentation, and I'd like to advise you that this episode of The Wrong Hero was brought to you by the Eskimos, makers of fine blubber products for your home, including Blubber Clear, cruelty-free blubber, Blubber Light. I can't believe it's not blubber. Fat-free blubber, free-range blubber, My Little Blubber, Country Time blubber, Pickup blubber, Blubber Come Back to Me, Mighty Morphin Power blubber, Teenage Mutant Ninja blubber, and new Nazi free blubber. And it was also, Wrong Hero was also brought to you by Move Over Butter, Fuck Off Margarine, and Die Lord Die. And of course,
Please, Francis, what we really want to know is, on the credits, after the show, who is doing your fashion? Because that's really the key. It's your fashion, it's your attire. Please, if you don't understand that, then you don't understand The Wrong Hero.
fashion's my goodwill.
Your head,
I've had my run-ins with mental illness, hence
your
the hat.
dress, it's your clothes, that's what sets The Wrong Hero,
Okay.
among many other,
Put the Madonna on the turntable, it's time to Vogue! Well, I'd also like to thank the makers of Diet Pepsi. Now, you know, for my svelte figure, and you know that when Ray Charles used to say, "You got the right one, baby, uh-huh." Well, and then concurrent with that, of course, was the scandal where they found the syringes in the Diet Pepsi. And Ray Charles used to be a junkie. So, I mean, it all ties together. You know, it's like he had the keys to the Pepsi warehouse. He was shooting up. He dropped the syringe in the can. Where's that syringe? You got the right one, baby. So anyway, I'd like to thank the Diet Pepsi people. And I'd also like to thank you, Carl Smith, Mark Biggins, Steve Iskowitz, Leslie Sterling, and last, and certainly least, John Hanson. And if you were amused by this presentation, then I am very happy. And if you found this presentation instructive, then I'm even happier still. But if you have found this presentation neither amusing nor instructive, then thank you very much for not hurting me or my friends. So, is that about it? Have you had enough? I know I have. Get out of here. Get out, I say. You know what I say to Castro? Get out! Get out! Get out of Cuba! Yeah, as long as I'm at it, you know? You know what Rush Limbaugh really is? He's, see, the market for, like, incredibly bland, big band music listened to by alcoholic World War II veterans on their car radio was starting to become untenable. So they had to come up with an acceptable alternative that somebody could listen to, reach for the gin in his glove compartment, and then start listening to him again while fixing himself a drink while driving 45 in the passing lane and not miss a single idea. You know, really, talk about the return of the repressed. That's Rush Limbaugh. And of course, you know that my name for Rush Limbaugh is Lush Rambo. Lush Rambo, because that's what he is. By God. So anyway, with that little postscript, and have you ever seen that thing, Improper Bostonian? What the fuck is this thing anyway? Well, is this supposed to be a magazine, or is it a giant ad supplement with pictures of what? What is it? You know, I can see the same sort of thing in Weimar, Germany. Up and coming on the party scene, young Adolf Schicklgruber. You know, his daring beer hall putsch of 1925 puts him on the lips of every sophisticated individual in town. Smokey Bacon, seen pictured here with Adolf Schicklgruber.
I know Smokey.
I know Smokey Bacon. Well, I'm on Emily's list. So there.
Oh, Jesus, boy, am I getting that full.
I was there when Kitty Dukakis put her back
barrels a couple of times in the last. Oh, but that's gotta go. Oh man, by God, I got my rent in the mail. That was full duty today, but if I got problems.
Really?
It's not even a question of money, it's a question of getting the time. Boy, has this.
Well, and Mark, as for the money, I've resolved to stop stealing the change off the top of your dresser, so that ought to be good for a good $3 or $4 a week. And I'm going to walk to work, so I won't be taking your subway tokens anymore either. And for that matter, I won't be digging around in the mattress for various crumbs of intoxicating substance. And you know, so don't worry about a thing, buddy.
Sloan Kettering, Pat Buchanan. I mean, you
You gave to Pat Buchanan this week?
Hey,
no, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Everybody's putting Pat Buchanan down, but you know, I really like
He's
that
a great
speech.
American.
I like that speech you gave to the Republican convention, but of course, you know, I liked it even better in the original German. When Hitler said it in 1938, you know, that was worth seeing. I'm telling you, you know, like. So anyway,
Morris Dees, Montgomery.
Morris Dees,
For
isn't he
the
the guy?
eighth time,
Wait, Morris Dees, didn't he do Disco Duck? Morris Dees.
It's Ozzie D and Ruby D and Ozzie Davis.
Wait, Ozzie Davis, wasn't he in that? Wasn't he in that? Didn't he bite the head off of a dove?
Oh,
He was in Deep Purple or Black Sabbath, and he bit the head off a chicken. Isn't that Ozzie Davis? Oh, sorry. Ozzy Osbourne. Wasn't he in The Wizard of Oz?
He played
No.
for
Ruby.
Smith.
Ozzie Smith.
No, didn't he have a television show, Life with Ozzy?
That was
Ozzie and Harry.
No, wait a minute. Didn't Robert Browning write a poem about him called Ozymandias? No, I'm asking because I want to know. I'm not just making fun of your. I'm not trying to make a cheap joke at the expense of. That is to say, well, I've said enough. Good enough.
Right in the middle it says boring. Isn't that cool?
Boring.
Yes, it's on the wall. See? It's next to the,
Oh yeah.
it's next to the wrench, the
How-
pipe wrench.
How strangely appropriate.
This is where you were living.
Well, we wouldn't want anything bad to happen on your watch.
Taking this act on the road.
Oh, I'm doing. Well, yes.
Attempted to numerous times.
No,
Try
this-
to continue
silence!
for
Unbeliever!
40 years.
I'm good. Well, you know, I've done over 600 shows, which is more than I can say for you and your pitiful attempts at a political career.
Yes, yes.
Have you made 600 speeches? Well, of course, Mark has.
You haven't been on 600 times, Leslie.
No, and I'm glad I haven't.
Well, I'm doing Liberty in 2 weeks. That's that place across the street from 494. 7 minutes. 7 minutes of dynamite.
All new material in each of those performances. And like, you know, 40% of it is recycled.
Gee, thanks for that encomium. Well, you ought to be my agent, you know. Well, you know, he kind of sucks, but he won't hurt the kids. That's a great recommendation right there. Well, okay. Well, as long as I'm back for at least momentarily, I'm not going to do much more because I'm really getting tired. And 57 minutes, you know, it's really stretching it, you know. But only the great and all-powerful Wrong Hero could.
I think it's an hour and 2 minutes.
No, that's wrong. You're reading it wrong. You have to subtract. You have to add 57 minutes to that, and that's 2 hours. Besides, the first 2 minutes are blank, so it was actually 55 minutes, okay? So this is part 2. You ever, like, you know, you've been driving through the Midwest, I'm sure, right? And you know, you turn on the radio, and some of these towns are so small that, you know, there's only one radio station that, you know, from Des Moines, you know, it's the Paul Harvey Show, or something like that, you know. It's And oh, you know what really gets me are the sports shows. Have you heard these? The sport, the people call into their. Of course, I went to the Modern Barber Shop on Mass Ave. You ever been in that place? Well, it's right on Mass Ave. It's right kind of across from the city courthouse, but down back towards Harvard Square. And he gave me this haircut, and the modern barber shop refers to 1953 and the first Eisenhower administration. And well, anyway, he has the sports channel on it.
Okay.
Are you leaving too?
No, I'm going to come back.
You're going to come back.
You better come back.
I should have given you a break.
Mark's going to help me.
Maybe you need a break.
Yeah, I need a break.
I've got to go to work early tomorrow.
Francis,
Francis, you've shot your bolt.
One of a kind experience. Thank you for saying my name on the tape so that all future audience members will know that I was here. So
One of a kind, love affair. Yeah. Hey, how about Cowboys for Girls? Now, there's a song you don't hear too much.
Baby dolls to boys.
Oh, see, you know the lyrics. I bet you know the lyrics to the Banana Splits theme song, too. Okay, here they are, the expurgated lyrics. Flipping like a pancake, popping like a cork. Beagle, fleagle, drooper, and snork. Getting off a lot of fun, getting off a lot of fun, getting off a lot of fun. You can't sing. Whoa.
There's been a band that covered that too.
Oh yeah, the Dickies did them too.
The Ironics used to play the Banana Split song.
I still have my Ironics tape.
We played the Banana Split theme song.
I didn't tape over it, you'll be happy to know.
We've never heard of that in the club. These are Banana Split.
Well, you can get them. Look at the Blues Brothers playing Rawhide. I mean, all you gotta do is hit them where they live. Okay.
Well, I hate to leave the show before it's over. But
Oh, well, I'm just about done anyway.
I had more here than I should have. Not trying to get up early in the morning.
Well, this is for Steve.
Dating Fast, Go-Go's from the Go-Go's first album.
I'll be up directly. I just want to tell Steve one thing. The Oreos theme.
Yeah, I have a bad neck. It's
Little girls have lovely curls, and I like Oreos. Stunning Cartesian logic at work here, Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm dating myself because you don't remember the Oreos theme song or anything like that. Mr. Peanut.
What was it?
Little girls have lovely curls, and I love Oreos. It's like, whoa. Einstein, call your office. This is a real baffler. Try to figure this one out. Can you top this? E equals MC squared? Fuck off.
That'd be too risque for these days.
Oh,
Child pornography.
yeah, well, you're probably right there.
The association would never do a song now called Enter the Young.
Yeah, you're probably right there, too. And Along Comes Wendy would be suspect as well. Like, now my empty cup is tastes as sweet as the wine. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Sweet as the wine. Wait, now my empty cups taste as sweet as the... Well, anyway, you get the idea. Incomprehensible lyrics have gone the way of the 60s, and it's really a shame. I didn't even get to do the Star Spangled Banner. Have you heard the Star Spangled Banner? I'll do the Star Spangled Banner for you.
Yeah.
Well, Francis Scott Key was kind of a one-hit wonder, if you know what I'm getting at.
Oh, I heard that. I
Yeah.
think you're going to sing the song.
Oh, no, well, I was going to sing it 18 different ways, but nah, I'm not up for it. I don't have anything to drink. My voice is tired. I should have given up about 3 minutes ago. So I think this is all, at least for now. So we're all here to thanks you, and remember, the title of this presentation has been More Popular Than the Masters I Serve. Should I put still more applause on you for this one? You're all doing me a favor by coming out here. It's the fact that you come out and watch our performers, gives them a reason to live, and also to be able to pay them. So I'm going to do you a favor in return. I would like to save you. What are they charging for movies today? $6? $7? $8? I remember sclerosis 20 years down the road. I would like to do a 2-minute violent cop buddy flick soundtrack. And the name of this movie is Violent Cop Buddy Flick. The police are foul. The police are foul. Look at all of our brave policemen. Oh no, a gigantic explosion. Look, Jack Nicholson in a cameo appearance. Did you know he got $1.2 million for making that cameo? Hey look, the soft drink logo. Oh, Pretty Woman. Both of the cops are going to fight over her, but of course only one of them can have her. Oh look, here's Sean Penn in a cameo appearance. Get this all out of my face! What are you, some kind of a pussy or something? Oh look, the car chase. The police are foul. The police are foul. The police are foul. And so is the FBI. Every once in a while, people come up to me and they try to give me ideas, you know, to do shit. There's one guy, he's really drunk, but every once in a while, you know, he gets me stoned, so one time said, he's really drunk all the time. He said, hey, I have an idea. How about a Bohemian ball player? A Bohemian ball player. He sits out in the left outfield, he plays bongos, and he wears a beret, and he's too stoned to catch the fly balls, and he says the sun got in his eye, but it's an overcast day. You know, Bohemian ball player. Alright. I want to make some old person cry. Are there any old people in the audience? Because, oh great, how's this? A chocolate crucifixion scene. They have chocolate Easter bunnies, please. They'll have a chocolate crucifixion scene. The crown of thorns from like little candy beads and stuff. Or better yet, you can have a chocolate tableaus of the entire passion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Pilate sentencing Jesus to death, and benignant little schoolchildren can bite off the arm which sentenced Jesus to death. The chocolate resurrection scene, a gigantic chocolate egg which is a cave and it's hollow inside. All there is inside is some jelly myrrh, you know, and some little hollow chocolate rose. And of course, well, you know, Jesus is also solid chocolate except for the little holes in his hands, which are hollow chocolate. Oh well. You know, there's this Andy Griffith's going to do this new detective show. It's about this detective with stomach problems. It's called Maylocks. Well, yeah, I tried to come up with 2 new jokes a week. That's one of them. Was it worth it? Sure. How long did you think about it? Not very. Okay, here's the other new joke. You ever see those bumper stickers? You can't hug your children with nuclear arms. Yeah. What if you had a prosthetic hand? You see some guy walking around with 2 big missiles, you know, for hands, for arms, and trying to hug your children? I don't know. I mean, they might be radioactive, but so what? The thought that counts, you know. All right. Here's Johnny Moe reciting all of your favorite nursery rhymes. Hey, I'm still dilly down the court. Oh, this is terrible. I'm the only sitting on the wall. Here comes all the people across things back. This is terrible. I'm the only still off the wall. Oh, this is terrible. Jack wanted to stick in his hand and I'm the only. This is not unbelievable. This is unbelievable. They had up. Oh, this is terrible. It's all over. It's all over. I'm the only fell. I'm the only fall. It's all over. It's all over. I'm the only fall. That's more like music, you know. That's manic. Let's get depressive, you know. Every once in a while, people will think they're clever. They say, "Oh, here comes Francis the talking mule." Well, you know, mules work hard and they never complain. So, I'm not a mule. But maybe I can be Francis the talking drug mule. And I can try to smuggle hashish into Mexico. That would be kind of stupid, wouldn't it? Try to smuggle it out of Mexico. Oh, here comes customs. Oh. And my eyes the size of a bowling ball. Do you have anything to declare? I have nothing to declare but my genius, man. Hey, you've heard of Nathan Hale, right? You guys know who Nathan Hale is?
reaction. I think that even on a molecular level, we can observe this in action. For every molecule which betrays an electron rescues a molecule in turn. So, you have all these health food stores opening up. Why not a death food store next door? They sell nothing but like the most harmful products. Red dye number 2 in big jars, and hamburger meat, which is hamburger herter, 80% fat. You add it to your hamburger, it becomes one big sticky mass of fat. And you put it in a frying pan, and your little bit of meat is floating on top of a river of grease. And then you add a little piece of bologna on top of that. And then you put a little piece of cheese on top of that. Then you get a big slotted spoon and you pull out the dripping mass, and you slap it on a piece of white bread. And you go into the death food store and you say, how much is this going to cost me? And they say, oh, it's free. And then you say, why is that? And they say, because the funeral parlor is right next door. Yeah, and then you go into the funeral parlor, and it's not like an ordinary funeral parlor. It's like a funeral parlor where everybody stands around and says, I'm so glad he's dead. I'll bet he wishes we were all dead like him, too. And then you sit around and they say vindictive things about the dead person. But the dead person isn't really dead. He has a little microphone concealed in his ear, and you can hear everything that everybody is saying. And at the end of the funeral service, he gets up and he says, then he drops dead. We have this drug problem, right? But really what it is, it's a medicine problem. Because when people that we like use drugs, they're not really using drugs, they're using medicine. And when people we don't like use medicine, they're not really using medicine, they're using drugs. So in other words, they want to take the drugs away from the people who use it for medicine. So why don't we take the medicine away from the people who use it for drugs? Get all those cancer patients. Let them bear their pain like a man, goddammit. Get rid of medicine. For the entire pharmacopoeia and the bottom of the ocean will all be better off. Because drugs are something that you take when you don't feel so hot and you want to feel good. And medicine is stuff that you take when you feel lousy, when you want to feel better. I mean, there's no real difference, So, and the thing is, this drug war thing, you know what Woodrow Wilson said about wars? He said, once this country gets involved in a war, you can kiss social reform goodbye. Freedom of speech will be greatly limited in the course of such a war. And that's sort of what's happening now. And it's not like the Colombians are sending cocaine to us and we're saying, no, I hate cocaine, I hate it, no, give me no cocaine. Because if we did that, there wouldn't be a drug war, there wouldn't be a drug problem, It's our fault. It's not the Colombians' fault, it's not the Panamanian. It's all covered. They're just using them as scapegoats, I don't know, that's not funny, is it? But I'll tell you something. Some people say alcohol is their medicine, and some people say marijuana is their religion. I say, heroin is my universe. No, not really. I had a chance to horn some heroin once, but I turned it down. You know why? Because all this anti-drug propaganda did get to me, But don't even try it once, man. It's that good, I mean, you couldn't possibly make it more attractive than to say something like that. So with my sort of negative way of thinking, there must be a reason that they don't want us to use heroin. It's because if they forbid it, that means we'll want to do it. And if we do it, we'll be too strung out and lazy and scratching ourselves all the time to want to do anything else. Which is fine. It's the ultimate consumeristic drug. Because everything is subsumed into it. Well, I have a bunch of other stuff to do, but I'm tired and lazy. But let's talk about the president for just a minute. Sure. eat basil. I will not watch basil rathbone movies. I will not eat sage. I will not show any sagacity in any of my domestic policies. I will not eat rosemary, and you wouldn't eat her either if you saw her. And Ted Kennedy's out there saying, don't use penicillin. Millions of microorganisms die every time you take penicillin. Don't use penicillin. What, Chinese are killing people? So what? They're our friends. Don't use penicillin. Because one American microorganism is worth 10 million Chinese. So don't use penicillin. And George is sitting there, well, I won't eat broccoli, but I'll eat pork rinds. They're my little brown ones. And he's sitting there watching the Super Bowl, and Danny Quayle comes in the room and says, when are they going to have the Bat Bowl? Oh boy, are you supposed to get on a laugh? Anyway, it lasts the whole time. I think what does matter is our featured performer. He's come all the way here from, gosh, where was it? Bill? Brookline? Hartford? Hartford? Harvard Square. Oh, okay. Harvard Square, also known as Baby Town now. Because the whole purpose of going to Harvard Square is to stuff your face with goodies all day long. Ice cream rolls floating on the top of them. Big, huge sandwiches, all sorts of greasy vegetarian delights. Deep fried pocket sandwiches. Well, anyway, now we're in Central Square, slightly more austere venue. And it's my pleasure to introduce a man who has performed here before, and he's wonderful. His name's Bill White. Let's give him a hand. Bill White. For anybody else who wants to perform as a part of the open mic festivities, does that mean I have to do it all myself? Francis, you don't have to do anything. You ever see these MCs at other comedy clubs? They're like, have you guys ever go to comedy clubs? You know, they go, they always have the same spiel. Oh, we got a really great show for you tonight. We got a really great show. Oh, lots of stuff. They're all hyper and stuff. What if everybody acted like this? What if you went to a church and the guy at the door said, our preacher's feeling extra holy today? You know? Hey, what other occupations could you do that with? We got some occupations here? Occupations. Watch me work. Come on, leave it. You're a framer? Let's see. I've framed reproductions of some of the great world masterpieces. Hype. Well, what do you guys do back there for a living? Well, I know what Bill White does for a living. He blows on mine with incredible performances. How about Bill White's friends of Bill White? What do you do? You're related? Oh, you're a fundraiser, huh? We give over 90% of our money away to the charity that we raise it for. You know, love our charity. We really love it. 90 cents on the dollar. Yeah, but show me a charity like that. I got a Bridget Brooklyn song. This music is sort of, does anybody know enough about sound to be able to turn that music on? Maybe Mr. Bill White can help me. Bill, behind the soundboard, there's it says tape. Just turn that, just that one. It's like number 15 or something. Or you just turn the cassette off altogether. Yeah, because I thought maybe it would be nice if you couldn't stand to listen to one audience chatter. At the very least, you listen to Robert Hitchcock. Now it's sort of like contradictory. Yeah, the tape is all the way over there. See where the cassette player is? No, poor Robert Hitchcock. He's dead. Oh well, what can you do? My room smells like cat piss. But the hell of it is, I don't have a cat. I think I'm going to need that bottle of Moulin Rouge over there. As long as you guys are walking around me anyway. You see that bucket over there? This is like really aggressive comedy. The comic has to do all sorts of outlandish favors instead of telling jokes. Okay, you there in the black fringe. You see that bucket over there, over by the corner? It has a big kind? It's sitting on that little, yeah, that. Yeah, would you, yeah, no, just the bottle. The water in the bucket I'll drink later on the off chance there's still some booze in there. But, yeah. Because, you know, this is great though. Because, you know, it's like being in the desert and having nothing to drink but wine. At first it seems to relieve your thirst, but then you get thirstier, so you drink some more. And it seems to relieve your thirst. But then you get thirstier, and you need some more. And you're crawling in the desert, and you see a mirage. It's McDonald's, and you say, thick shake, thick shake. You know, my neighborhood was really crummy. Last May, in fact, was National Trauma Awareness Month. But because I had such a lousy childhood, I was too frightened to mention it until now. Yeah, you know, they have those fire things where, you know, in case of fire, break glass. Mine said, in case of deprived childhood, shatter storefront window. Which is actually the plot of Do the Right Thing, by the way. Not that I've seen it. Yeah, maybe I should try it for the offensive mantra here. But, yeah, my neighborhood was lousy. They had plastic models, they had restaurants, and the restaurants had plastic models of food in the window, and they had plastic models of health inspectors coming to take it away. Yeah, this is the sort of dry humor that you'd pay $12 to see if it were Steve Wright. And you know, we had a lot of clowns in our neighborhood. In fact, they were bad clowns, because I lived in Crime Town. There were no banks in Crime Town. There were no insurance agencies because nobody would insure anything in Crime Town. People in Crime Town didn't have any pizza parlors, so they'd call neighboring cities and ask them to deliver pizzas, and they'd always ask them to deliver them to vacant lots, even though they were starving, because it was Crime Town, and everybody in it was a criminal. And even the circus clowns were criminals, and they used to corner the circus clowns and say, "Don't be a fool, bozo! Throw down that pie and come out with your hair up!" I had a girlfriend, you know, right back when I was a hippie, I had a girlfriend, that was 15 years ago. I didn't want her to use deodorant, and so she used to have to use deodorant. It got rid of the smell of her deodorant. But she got tired of me, and she started going on the Hell's Angel, and he used to use odorant. You know what I'd like to get? A Swiss Army wife. A Swiss Army wife. She'd clean your nails and say, "You're a slob." She'd open bottles for you and she'd say, "You drink too much." And always, she'd say, "Why don't you move out of that slum? My coat smells like your slum every time I come to visit you. Why don't you move out of that slum and get a decent job?" Yeah, my neighborhood was terrible. They had back to skipping school sales. You used to go down to the beach. You'd put the sea to your ear and you'd pick up Shell oil. Alright, you know, the street musicians used to do all these weird songs, you know. What do street musicians usually do? They usually do something like "Oh Lonesome Me" by Neil Young. Hey Bill, do you ever do subway stuff? You ever? No?
I don't know any Beatles songs.
Oh, okay, so they do Beatles songs. Well, what about the Street Beatles and their repertoire? P.S. I love booze, booze. I wanna hold your purse. A taste of vomit, vomit. Tasted much sweeter than bile. Dun, dun, dun. You know. Or if there's a cockroach heaven, then you know it must be a hell of a place. Or until the fifth of whiskey, I need another dime. I'm off key. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's because last night I got really drunk and when I woke up in the morning, I asked my brain if I could borrow my body. And my brain said no. You took it out last night, you kept it out until all hours of the morning, you didn't put any fuel in it. The answer is no. You're a grounded young man. That's why I woke up at 1 minute to noon. I went to MIT. I was looking for the physics department, and there was a little map, and it said, "You are somewhere between here and plenty in my dog soup. And the trouble with Korean food is 1 hour after you eat it, it comes back up to 38th parallel. You know, these are terrible jokes. I should have told these back in 1952 if I had been alive then. But I don't think it would have gone over even as well. I went into Radio Shack, and you know, when you go into Radio Shack to buy stuff, they're always busy. They're always busy doing something else. You know, playing with that little computer. So I was like standing there going, the show's supposed to start in 2 minutes, and this guy's like fiddling with some sort of electronic gadgetry that he was trying to fix on company time. He said, just another Pico second, please. You ever been to Hubba Hubba? Down the street? Yeah. It's on that side? I overheard some people at the counter there say, follow that trend. We'll head them off at the passe. You ever hear of a piano playing elephant? I saw a piano playing elephant once, but he used to refuse to play the white keys. You know, I'm beginning to feel like a real cat, you know? It's wonderful though, because you know, usually, you know, you gotta have a really strong temperament to do this. I mean, in other words, you have to be a little authoritarian prick to like, you know, get up here and be magisterial in your own sort of peculiar way. You know, it's really weird. I'm getting this flash now, you know. It's like, if you're sort of in a subdominant position, then you're expected to gravitate towards certain occupations, you know. Like, if you're a pockmarked Hispanic, then you're a parking lot attendant. And if you're a 6'7" tall black guy, basketball, you know? It's like human beings are so diversified and variegated, not to compare them to dogs to any extent, but you know, dogs are all the same breed, and yet they vary in size from Chihuahuas to St. Bernards. And humans are the same way, you know? You get your 4-foot tall Ugandes with poisonous spears, and you get your 5'8" tall Lebanese people standing in the doorway, sort of carefully scrutinizing what I'm doing. And what am I doing? Well, I don't know. I think I'm just sort of rapping, man, you know. And then you get, you know, you get your hydrocephalus, and you get your encephalus, and you get your pituitary giants. And you know, you get paid in the proportion of your freakishness. If you're a freak, you can make a lot of money or a little bit of money. If you're normal, you're sort of just stuck in the middle somewhere. Like if you can play guitar as well as our friend Bill White here, you won't be a millionaire. If, on the other hand, you have the hand-eye coordination of a snail, then you're going to be stuck in middle management for the rest of your life. Well, that's true, you know. It's a pity. So, you know, just what the world doesn't need, an unfunny comedian. In fact, a comedian who deliberately tries to make people cry, you know. How come we don't have that, you know? Well, I mean, we do have people who sort of, you know, make you laugh in a sort of nervous fashion, you know. They tell the kind of jokes that make you sort of feel really shitty. Blues comedians, in other words, you know, like, you know, one time I was in Pennsylvania, I was at this flea market, and I saw this record. It was Andy Griffith, you know, and he was like, there's, you know, the theme to the Andy and Mayberry show? There's actually lyrics to that, and this album had the lyrics to the Andy and Mayberry show, but that wasn't what interested me. It cost too much. They wanted $10 for it, so I didn't buy it. But on the back of the record, they had other albums by Andy Griffith, and one of them was Andy Griffith Screams and Hollers the Blues. My God, you know, I would really give up one of my fingers to have that record. What would it be like, you know? Well, I'm mad at Floyd the barber, cause he knocked my girlfriend up. You know, the sort of domestic tragedies of Andy and Mayberry. You know, Amy's pies taste like garbage. I can't get a decent shave. Barney Fife, the deputy, acts like he's a lazy slave. Oh, I'm mad at Floyd the barber, cause he knocked my girlfriend up. United States, and there's no more wine. And the devil was in a barber shop. He was sitting in a barber chair, and he said, just trim it a little bit around the horns, Tony. And I was sitting there, and I was looking at him, and he said, what the hell are you looking at? He had a jukebox, and I went up to look at it, and had all these great songs on it. I said, wow, where'd you get this jukebox? And he says, you fool, don't you know the devil has all the best tunes? Bill, before you go, I should pay you. Yeah. All right. I'll just say, lively story. Here you go, 9 smackers. Hey, thank you, man. That was a great set. Well, oh no, now the last person is left. Oh my God, well I'll tell you what, I'll play to the penguin sitting in back.
Francis.
Yeah. Take a break. Give it a rest. Alright, I think I will. I'm trying to do too much here.
Yeah.
Whoops. Who do you think you are? Superman? Relax. Invulnerable Kryptonian on board. The sun is fat. How fat is the sun? Every time I try to make love to the sun, I have to dust it in flour and go for the wet spot. This ends the open mic. How are we doing sound-wise, sir? Maybe you should do it now. I'll be very naive and suggest you call WGBH and tell them about the blues jam here at the Middle East. It would be modest of me to do it myself. Anytime you fellas have the inclination to get on the horn and call in to meet GBH, say, hey, I got this blues jam over at the Middle East every Saturday afternoon. It's been running here for months on end. I'm going to try to do a song. Just kind of embarrassing, actually. I haven't played this song in months. Haven't felt like it in months either. Maybe I'll do the instrumental first, and then I'll sing the words if I feel up to it. forgot the kick. Terry, tell me something. Why do musicians do this? Why do musicians do this? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, people step on chords all the time. What are some of the occupational hazards of being a drummer?
Slapping your finger between the stick and the rim.
Yeah, it must be a bitch, all right. You get those big blood bruises on your fingernails, and you go to the manicure, and she's bloodless. My favorite. Well, cut some off. We'll have to do it. I was thinking of this song by the Minutemen called Corona. And, that's Weird Al Yankovic. Yeah, he's big. He's got that great Hey, did you know that the accordion is now the official instrument of San Francisco? The piano accordion is the official musical instrument of San Francisco. All the piano accordion players are real happy about it too, you know? Well, it's the sort of thing you associate with prisoner of war movies, you know? Some guy sitting there desolately squeezing his squeeze bars. Like that. Now this is
All he did was calisthenics and play rock and roll accordion.
what kind of tunes did he play on the rock and roll accordion? Johnny B. Good? How the hell would that go? Yeah, I like that. Well, this is a song that goes to the tune of the Minutemen playing Corona, but it's called Toyota. Yeah. Horseshoes, here we go. Horseshoes on Sunset Strip, but I feel like a drip, 'cause I only had a Toyota, $10,000. Hollywood with all the stars, $60,000 cars, but I only had a Toyota, $10,000. Riding down Hollywood Boulevard, trying to pick up the horse. None of them would get in the front seat of my car. Beverly Hills cops came chasing me off the Sunset Strip. So I parked on the beach, Venice Beach, waited for the tide to come in. That's Toyota. And what do they say? And I'm out of here. The rest there. It's like working in a bank all the fucking time. You gotta smell good, you gotta come on time, and there's a substantial penalty for early withdrawal. Marriage. When you get married, your whole life changes. You can't sleep late on Saturday mornings anymore because she wants to go to every goddamn flea market in town. You're still chiseling the cement out of your eyes with a cold chisel. She's saying, let's go out to this stupid flea market 100 miles away and buy some useless, cheap garbage, decorate our home, stuff we're going to throw out or leave to our grandchildren, and they're going to throw it out for us, save us the trouble. Marriage. If you don't have the garbage in a microwave army just waiting to take over the kitchen, she sees those little germs. They have your name on them. Marriage. You go to the movie theater. She wants to stay a sucking black hole of domesticity. Marriage. Mike and Spike in this blues jam. Let's give them a hand.
Hi, thank you, and welcome, everybody.
How many of you are here to see the Velcro peasants in peace? I'll let you join us very shortly. I'd like to bring to Miss Lovely Dorothy Dwyer. See, I want her to demonstrate how to tell a joke, okay? This is Dorothy Dwyer demonstrating how to tell a joke.
The other day, I had to call small claims, and the guy answers the phone and says, "What? Small claims? I can touch my nose with my tongue, and I've got really big feet."
Miss Dorothy Dwyer, with how to tell a joke. I'd like to tell everybody how not to tell jokes. I'm not allowed to tell jokes because we don't have a comedy license, so...
I forgot my lines.
See, there's certain rules to doing comedy.
Let's see, now what?
One of them is not to go over your time limit. So for the next 3 hours, I'd like to demonstrate how not to do comedy. It's the comedy 10 don'ts. I'm sorry. I guess I never should have come up here. So I'd like to tell you how not to do comedy. I'm sorry. I guess I never should have come up here. Now, one of the rules of comedy is not to talk during somebody else's set. But it's okay to talk during your own set. Who is this retardo, Christ? He thinks he's funny. I could do a better job. My sister could do a better. My little brother's not even out of the womb yet. He can do a better. What is with this guy? Well, the thing is, he's funnier when he doesn't look at the cheat sheet. He's much funnier when he just, like, uses his imagination. But, well, he obviously has a lot to learn. I don't know. Let's just all talk real loud because, let's turn around. He's terrible. Let's get him out of here. Where's the rotten eggs, huh? When you need them. Hey, I wonder if there's a store you can buy rotten eggs specifically for the purpose of baiting somebody on or off, as the case may be. See, that's an example of improvisation right there. Oh yeah, what's the other rule of comedy? Don't use a cheat sheet. I think that's what it says here. Hey, what about that Roseanne? Isn't she fat?
I guess you don't watch television.
Hey, what about those Red Sox? They won their game.
I guess you don't read newspapers.
What's the matter with you guys? Don't you watch television or read the newspapers? Another rule of comedy is don't litter the stage with your prop gags. And it says, the roaches in my apartment are big. They drink diet soda. That's how big they are. Hey, gee, but while I'm on the subject, I have a big hangover. Well, it feels like the front four of the Patriots are playing touch football on my head. Don't use a cheat sheet. I'm sorry. I guess I should never come up here. I guess you guys don't read Russian literature, do you? Well, I can tell you a joke. Tolstoy is at the supermarket and he's buying food for his 160,000 serfs. And Dostoevsky is behind him and he cuts ahead of him in line. And Tolstoy says, "Hey, what's the big idea?" And Dostoevsky says, "I just want to get one little thing. I just want to get a little jar of poison." I guess guess you don't read Russian literature. I'm sorry. I guess I never should have come up here. You know, I was so confused that I started treating plant life like it was animals, and I started treating animals like they were plants. So I'd get my dog and I'd pour a little can of water on his head. And then I'd get my spider plant and I'd tie it to a sled and whip it with a giant lash. I guess you don't go to zoos. I'm sorry. I guess I never should have come up here. I taught my grandmother something that they always tell you never to teach her. I taught my grandmother to suck eggs. And then I taught her to suck toast. And now she can get her own breakfast. Just a touching story from my childhood past. I'm sorry, folks. I guess I never should have come up here. You've been a lousy audience. I hate you all. And that's how you don't do comedy. But here's some guys who are naturals at what they do. I like to introduce them. Pete, and I don't know his side man's name. Wade. Pete and Wade. Pete, you're in the Velcro business, aren't you? Yeah. Pete, are you going to favor us with that prize-winning song of yours? Yeah. Oh, good. I'm mighty glad. Well, then, let's bring him on. Myself, louder. Louder, louder. Blue, I have a feeling you're using the wrong sound. There you go. Nice song. Our rich white lawns are much better. Well, every week we have this open mic for youth and college. I think that anybody can get up here and talk about anything at all, and perform, do stuff, do what they do. I like to talk about Batman. When I was going to school, in elementary school, it's called Immaculate Conception of Mary. Great, you just know you're going to learn a lot about liberal worldviews from a school like that. Well, I had this Italian friend, his name was Vincent, but he only knew 2 words of English, and they were, whenever he got mad at me, this is all true. And he wouldn't let me watch Batman at his house because he said, but I'm saying Batman's evil. Well, if Batman is as evil as the nuns made him out to be, I guess that the first thing you do is the hunt is on. A powerful syndicate with 12 highly positioned people is taking over the little town of Jerusalem. One by one, the mysterious strong avenger of the night, the Batman, dispatches them with various things in his utility belt, batarangs, bat pistols, whatnot. Finally gets to the big man, the guy they call the King of Kings, Jesus Christ. Well, I can't think of what Jesus would do if he ran across Batman. Probably cure him, make him into Mouse Man or something. I can't say. Well, just another one of these crazy ideas I have every now and then. This has to do with Cinderella, Bride of Prince Frankenstein. Can you see it? Prince Frankenstein wants a bride, so he has a big party, and in his laboratory, Dr. Frankenstein is assembling the parts for a female Frankenstein. He sings her a song. 10 minutes ago, I saw you as he hacks the leg off, Anyway, the prince gives a big ball, but at midnight, Cinderella, Bride of Prince Frankenstein, has to leave because, the pumpkin is going to turn into a coach or whatnot. I'm getting confused. Well, anyway, the prince says, I want everybody in the kingdom to search far and wide and not to stop until they find the owner of this foot. So anyway, I'm not allowed to be funny because the Cambridge Ordinance prohibits comedians from operating without a license. So anyway, you're not allowed to laugh, in other words. I can get up here and stink as much as I want. So I got immunity. I'm not saying it's senatorial immunity. I saw something in the New Yorker once. It was called Try God. There was a button or something, or a line of clothing. The whole thing was Try God. Geez, try God. God in the trial size? How big would that be? Oh, it's only 4 billion pounds, the trial size God. Or maybe they mean something else. Maybe that God is under indictment. All right, how do you plead to this charge? Hey, I made him, you know. Like, that ignorance of the law is no excuse. We have no alternative but to propose the death penalty. You know, well, let's see, but how do you kill God? That's just it. I mean, for everything you try to do to him, something twice as bad will happen to you. So you see all these hapless police and prosecutors. The judge bangs his gavel and the hand comes off and all that sort of stuff. Now, actually, Jesus kissed the guy who tried to. Remember that one of his disciples sliced the ear off of one of the Roman guards, and Jesus kissed the wound and made it all better. A new ear grew. So I guess if Jesus were on trial, hey, wait a minute. This is a mockery of justice. What is truth? I guess Jesus already was on trial, so this is very redundant. And I'm just like fearfully straying from the point, which is there is no point at all. Okay, I was thinking, pretty soon I'm going to go to my high school reunion. It'll be my 15th, believe it or not, next year. And so, I'll be going after the only friend I'll recognize at my high school reunion will be Money. I'll walk up to Money and say, Money, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Well, you haven't changed a bit. Well, actually, I remember when you were a big bill, and now you've been confined to quarters. Oh, Money. I guess the more things change, the more Money remains the same. I thought I'd read you with that. Oh, and finally, for this interior monologue, which you're forced to witness. The chimp Hamlet. I was thinking if I were incredibly wealthy and had a lot of money, I could hire a chimpanzee to type Hamlet for me. But predictably enough, Hamlet would be rewritten according to the chimp dicta, along chimp terminologies, So at the graveyard scene, you'd hold up a banana peel and say, "Alas, poor Chiquita, I knew thee well." A banana of infinite jest, of course, his famous soliloquy: to be or not to be, or to swing in a tree. That is the question. Get me to a petting zoo, Ophelia. All the famous lines, and you just do it all with chimps. And of course, when Hamlet gets iced at the end, here lies a noble ape. Good night, sweet chimp, and flights of angels swing thee to thy nest. Anyway, that was the chimp. Now, someday it's going to go into production. I just got to raise $12 million and get some prominent chimp stars like, I don't know, Roddy McDowell, Jay Fairbanks. Are there any famous chimps anymore? Where have all the famous chimps gone? The world's not, they all go on a boycott, we refuse to be famous. But so every time you put us on a unicycle, we're just going to fall off, We won't perform tiny capers for your amusement. And in fact, I think the time has come for me to say that I will no longer perform tiny capers for your amusement or bewilderment or amazement.